Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I am Amanda and I blog over at Simple Life of a Country Wife. And today in this video, I'm gonna do something a little different than the other stuff on my channel. Now today I wanted to share with you kind of what I eat in a day. And that might seem kind of out of place with like a homesteading, frugal living channel, but this channel here I wanted to incorporate all areas of my life. And this is something that I am working on right now in my life. So I want to share it with you. So when you think about homesteaders and their diet, there's kind of like two kind of things I think you think about. You think about the healthy, homegrown, home-raised food, and then you think about baking and lots of it. The cinnamon buns, the pies, the cakes, the bread, everything. And a lot of homesteaders like to bake, and I am definitely no exception. I love to bake. And you know, most of us have been grounded into our homes for, well, it's coming on almost 3 months, I think here. We're definitely over 2. And so I don't know about you, but for me, I was eating a lot of comfort foods, doing a lot of baking. I know actually there was people doing a lot of baking because I could not find yeast and flour on the shelves. And so, you know, that kind of all adds up. So I really wasn't feeling so great, and I put on a few extra pounds as well. And so that combination kind of encouraged me to make some changes in my diet. For me, I am one of those people where, you know, I can't really do balance really well with diet. Like I can't just eat a lot of bread and just kind of balance it with a lot of vegetables, because my body works in a way where it really thrives on vegetables and just good food and protein. And when I fall off the tracks, I definitely feel it. I feel it just with being fatigued, and I also most recently have been feeling it with a serious sensitivity in my teeth. And so when I started changing my diet, it was awesome because my teeth especially felt a lot better. And so that's really encouraged me to keep going. So today I wanted to share with you kind of what I eat in a day right now to kind of get back on track, to make my body feel better, and just to keep me fueled through the day. I'm a busy mom, I homeschool, I homestead. I've recently started running on the treadmill, and so I need good food that's gonna fuel me. So today I wanna take you with me and I will walk through kind of the average stuff I eat in a day right now. So let's go. So for breakfast today, I'm going to make kind of a yogurt parfait type of thing. I've been eating that for the last 2 weeks, and so this is some Greek yogurt I like to use. And then I just use whatever fruit I have on hand. So today's blackberries, which is one of my favorite berries, blueberries, and also strawberries, which are just coming into season in our area. I'll also use about half a banana. As you can see, my banana is nearing its end of life, so it needs to be used. And then I will sprinkle some flaxseed all over it and mix it up, and it's so, so good. I also like to make myself a morning coffee, but I actually drink decaf. And I know people say, what is the point of drinking coffee if you drink decaf? I used to drink the caffeinated stuff, but then my body did not respond well over time. But then I had developed a taste for it. I really liked it. I really liked my morning coffee. It was comforting. And so I was really sad to see it go. So since then I've added decaf, and I know it doesn't give you the same effect as a real coffee, but I really, really enjoy it. So this is what I'm making this morning, and it's a vanilla hazelnut decaffeinated coffee. And I like to go with the Swiss water process decaffeinated coffee just because it's it doesn't use chemicals to take the caffeine out. So that's what I use. It's so good. I love it. I enjoy it every morning. And now for a little confession. So I was talking earlier in the video about eating healthier and changing my habits, and I have been doing that, and it's been great. I do have one tiny little vice though, and that is flavored coffee creamer. I love to enjoy my coffee in the morning with flavored coffee creamer. And so I love to go with hazelnut. As you can see, probably between the coffee and the creamer, I have a thing for hazelnut. And so, yeah, kind of my little guilty pleasure. But you know, I eat healthy the rest of the day, and I think that that kind of helps me keep a little balance. never used to eat breakfast. I would have a coffee with caffeine first thing in the morning, and then I wouldn't eat till lunchtime. Until about a year ago when I got really sick, and I ended up having a bunch of blood work done. I found out that my muscle mass was really low, along with some other low numbers. Did some research and discovered that some things that contribute to muscle mass, aside from not exercising, is being malnourished. And I really wasn't eating much at that time, basically because my autoimmune disease was causing me a lot of problems, and I reacted to a lot of foods, and I almost became scared of food because I didn't know what would make me sick and what wouldn't. So I wasn't eating enough. And breakfast I was missing for sure. So when I got that blood work done, I decided that I needed to take better care of myself food-wise, and that breakfast needed to be a priority. So that's when I took the caffeine out, and I have ate breakfast every single morning since then. So if you're not eating breakfast, eat breakfast. It's true. It's the most important meal of the day. So right now I am going to cut some spinach and some lettuce for my lunch and my dinner. I like to put spinach in my smoothies, and so I'll be doing that for lunch. So it's great when you grow your own, because I just come out my front door and I get what I need for the day. It's gonna be great when it's growing a lot better. So I generally don't have a snack in the morning, and that is because I tend to have breakfast a little later in the morning. You know, I get up and I take care of the animals, and I get my kids set up with their breakfast, and then I get them set up with school, and you know, I might do some other things around the house before I eat breakfast. And so I just find that I don't need a snack between breakfast and lunch. If I was hungry, I would probably reach for some fruit. My kids are always hungry, so they generally have a snack of fruit in the mornings. But in the afternoons, I definitely will have a snack between lunch and dinner, because that's a longer gap and I get hungry. So, so that's basically snack time in our house. The kids are like kids. They live for snack time. They love snack time. The other thing that I do is I carry a water bottle with me, and the reason I do that is to make sure I stay hydrated through the day. Now, I don't have any kind of set measurements of how many cups I should drink a day, and that would be because I tend to be a big water drinker anyways. I always have been. My whole family, like my kids and I, are all big water drinkers, and that's probably because we don't have juice in the house. I will buy juice on occasion as a treat, but regularly, day to day, it's water here. That's what you drink. And so it's not difficult for us to drink it. But I do find that carrying a water bottle with me encourages me to drink water in situations where I get too busy and I forget to make sure I'm hydrated. Like if I'm in the garden, you know, if you don't have your water bottle out in the garden and you're out there and then you realize you forgot your water, you're thirsty, you might say, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna wait till I go back in. 3 hours later, you're still out there and you haven't had a drink. So this just helps me make sure I'm getting in the water I need each day to be healthier. So I find lunch the busiest time of day, and so I need something really quick that I can eat so I can get going with my responsibilities. So I often make a smoothie with something else. So today with the smoothie, I'm having some hard-boiled farm fresh eggs. I love them. And I'm making a green smoothie. So I have my banana, spinach, I have some frozen fruit. So today it's dark sweet red cherries. I mix it up. I use whatever, different kinds of fruit. And I have almond milk that I use in it. And then I use some collagen. Collagen is really good for gut health. And so as someone who suffers with an autoimmune disease, I really benefit from anything for gut health. L-glutamine or L-glutamine, I don't know which way you say it, but anyways, it's the same thing. It's very helpful if you have gut health issues, and so I've been using this for quite a while, and it has given me great results. And I also add a bit of magnesium in it because I tend to have low magnesium, so I just toss that into my smoothie. question you may be wondering is, do I make separate food for my family than I do for myself? And I know this is gonna not be a popular answer, but I do. And I'm going to explain to you why, for a few reasons. The first is, when I change my eating habits, it can be really overwhelming just to do the switch. It takes more work, right? Usually that's why we fall into bad habits, is because healthy food often can take a little more effort and more work to do. And like I said, it is a busy place here. And so if I feel too overwhelmed to do it all for everyone, I'm probably gonna quit. So my goal is always to change my habits first, and then maybe incorporate some more changes into my family's diet. The other reason is their nutritional needs are different than mine, and we don't eat a lot of convenience foods in the first place. You know, they snack on fruit. That's kind of, so I'm not overly concerned that they are not getting what they need. Of course, as a mom, I think many moms, you know, kind of when they think about their kids' diet, think about some things they could improve and tweak. The other thing is, my husband is a meat and potatoes guy, and he'll eat a salad if I make it with dinner or whatever. But he likes some good substantial food, and you know, I think sometimes if we make too many changes too fast with our family, it can actually cause a conflict. And so I am always of the belief of to lead by example strongly. And so that's mostly what I do. And so again, I know it's not popular opinion to make separate food than your family. It would be different if I was making like 3 different meals, but honestly, I often will make their meal and I will eat a portion of it and might maybe just tweak it. So if they're eating hamburgers, I might eat hamburgers without the bun and I won't put ketchup on it or things like that. I might put like Dijon mustard and pile it up with some vegetables. Stuff like that, right? So a lot of times it's just a little tweaking, but there are nights when I am making like a separate meal if they're eating a meal that I know is gonna not make my body feel so well. The other part of that is I have an autoimmune disease. So there are things that I shouldn't be eating for my health that is perfectly fine for them to eat. And so I didn't want to take away all the things they love just because my body couldn't handle it. This is what works in our family. You just got to do what works for yours, right? When it comes to mealtime and changing your health. So, okay, so for dinner, I'm making a salad with my lettuce from my garden. I add lettuce, onion, red onion, tomato, and homemade sauerkraut to my salad. The homemade sauerkraut sounds kind of weird, but it's really good. I usually love to add avocados too, but my avocados aren't ripe. And then I have this homemade dressing, and this dressing doubles up as a marinade. So I have chicken cooking, and I have it cooking in the marinade, so I'll add some chicken as well as a bit of bacon to this, and it's going to be really, really good. I just find the marinade recipes online, and then I add it to the chicken and use it as a salad. If you add the marinade to the chicken, be sure not to use that same marinade for the salad because it's touched raw meat, so you definitely don't want to do that. You want to separate it. So that's pretty much what I eat in a day. Obviously it changes day to day, but right now that's kind of some of the things I'm enjoying. I tend to get in a rut and enjoy the same things over and over again for a little while. When it comes to eating better, I'm not counting calories, I'm not counting macros. I don't even know what those are. Calories I do, but macros, I don't even know what that is. So I'm also not doing any kind of specialized diet like keto or, you know, whatever other ones there are out there. I have done things like that in the past, but right now my focus is just an overall healthy approach. And so increasing my vegetable and fruit intake, making sure I'm getting protein, making sure I'm eating enough to fuel my body, and also leaving behind the sugar, the snacks, the candy, the junk food. And I do like to have a nice little treat every once in a while as well. So my objective is not to cut those things out completely, but to really cut back. I kind of like to go with the 80-20 rule, which is 80% of the time you eat really, really well, and then 20% of the time you kind of relax a bit on those things. And so you have the piece of cake, or you have the burger with lots and lots of cheese and bacon on it, or whatever. That's kind of the approach I like to take. It fits better into my lifestyle, and it doesn't make me feel completely deprived. And so that's just what works for me. So thanks for coming along with me today to see what I eat in a day. And thanks for watching. Bye.